someone check on Adam Silver because Caitlin Clark just big-timed the NBA. She said, nah, I'm good on the three-point contest. You know how we were all speculating that it was going to be Steph Curry and Klay Thompson versus Sabrina and Caitlin Clark? Well, Shams just reported that Caitlin Clark will not participate in the NBA All-Star Special three-point shootout in San Francisco and wants her first three-point contest to be at WNBA All-Star in Indianapolis this summer.
When Caitlin Clark declined the NBA's spotlight in favor of making history in the WNBA, she completely upended expectations and redefined the league.
Why she would want to do it anyway, I don't get it. If she did it, I would tune in and watch it. I'm not going to lie about that. And I said, I do believe the NBA, frankly, at this point, needs her more than the NBA. She needs the NBA.
We can be certain that Caitlin Clark has never shied away from a major stage. But when she was given the once-in-a-lifetime chance to participate in the NBA's three-point contest with NBA icon Stephen Curry, she made it obvious that her first priority is accurate shooting. Phenom turned down the invitation because she wanted to play in the WNBA on her terms for her league and her fans first, not because she wasn't interested.
Wants her first three-point contest to be at a WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis.
Although it would have been historic to witness a female player compete in the NBA's All-Star Weekend, Clark saw a bigger chance to bring the same enthusiasm and attention to the WNBA stage, and her decision speaks volumes about her dedication to advancing women's basketball.
Obviously has the ability. You know, we've seen her make 50 out of 54 shots, but he expressed that concern as well. You know, it's very different shooting off of a rack, and that is something that does take a bit of practice. And from what we have seen in her workouts and all these different types of things, Caitlin is, I mean, I don't know her personally, but she seems like the type of person, if she's gonna do this contest, she wants to win it. She seems psychotic. She seems to have that Kobe mentality. When I say psychotic in basketball, you guys, I mean that as a good thing. I think any great athlete is a little bit crazy. I think Caitlin is too, but in the best way.
Clark has always accepted the duty of advancing women's basketball, and her action furthered her resolve to deny the NBA recognition for an instance that properly belonged to the WNBA and its supporters. Clark's justification was straightforward but profound. She wanted to make her professional debut in front of the supporters who have been there for her from the beginning, those in Indiana and throughout the nation who have followed her journey from Iowa to the NBA, rather than having her first three-point contest on an NBA platform.
Made her decision. She will not be competing in this year's NBA three-point contest. Instead, she wants to keep it in where she's at, headquartered Indiana Fever. She wants to stay in Indianapolis, for the upcoming WNBA All-Star game, and that is where she will be competing in the three-point contest.
According to continuing discussions around media coverage, sponsorship, and recognition in women's sports, this choice is especially important. For years, WNBA players have battled for their league to be accorded the same respect and prominence as the NBA. Instead of donating her star power to an NBA event, Clark, who is perhaps the most marketable women's basketball player in recent memory, is utilizing her platform to further that movement by maintaining the momentum within the WNBA.
We're anticipating Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark versus like a Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Splash Brothers type thing. And it has been reported from Sports Business Journal that Caitlin Clark has declined to be a part of that contest.
By giving the WNBA's All-Star Weekend priority, Clark is laying the groundwork for the event to receive greater prestige and media attention. Her ability to command national attention has already proven to be a game changer for the WNBA. Every decision she makes is scrutinized and discussed, and she is using that influence to elevate the league in ways few before her have done. Clark's participation will ensure that millions of people watch the WNBA's three-point contest, which has historically not received the same level of coverage as its NBA counterpart. This will give the WNBA a significant platform boost, more sponsorships, more media coverage, and increased fan engagement because she chose to put her league first.
And the level of difficulty on her shots is obviously a very close comparison to the way that I play.
I was going to say Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost robs her of like the rest of her game because she's such a good floor, she has her overall, floor game. She's racking up, close to triple doubles every night. And, like her shooting ability is, it's her superpower, but the rest of her game is as polished as that. And so
this choice affects more than just a single game. it affects women's basketball's future. Clark is aware that her responsibility extends beyond shooting from the logo she is creating. The story of the WNBA's expansion by preserving her greatest moments within the league, she is demonstrating that the WNBA can succeed without stealing legitimacy from the NBA. Her influence is already bearing fruit, as WNBA ticket sales have increased. Demand for Indiana Fever games is at an all-time high, and media outlets are rushing to report on her adventure. At the heart of this initiative is Clark, who is ensuring that the WNBA and its ongoing success remain the main focus.
You know the Caitlin Clark effect is real, but these numbers make it even more incredible. The Indiana Fever just released their mid-season growth numbers. They sold out 100% of the season ticket inventory. Total attendance is up 264% from last year. Total attendance, which the season isn't over yet, has increased by over 200% on our way to 300. 186,000 fans have attended Fever home games, and 230,000 have attended the road games. No matter where Caitlin Clark is playing, she's going to draw.
Clark has made sure that any such showdown will have the appropriate context, one that emphasizes the WNBA as an equal, whether it's a unique NBA-WNBA crossover event or Curry making a guest appearance during the NBA's All-Star Weekend. Fans can now anticipate Clark lighting up the NBA's three-point contest and creating a moment that will go down in league history. It's not about passing up an opportunity. Rather, it's about selecting the right one, and in typical Caitlin Clark fashion, she's making the right call for the game, the league, and the supporters who have stood by her every step of the way.
$1,000 for a family of 4 to go to a WNBA game. That seems wild. It really does. The Clark effect.
Caitlin Clark's decision to decline the NBA's three-point contest in favor of waiting for the WNBA's event is audacious and calculated. It demonstrates her commitment to advancing women's basketball and making sure the WNBA receives the credit it merits by putting her league and her supporters first. With each game-changing stroke and well-considered choice, Clark is demonstrating that she is more than just a player. She is a movement whose influence goes beyond the court, influencing how women's sports are perceived and appreciated. In front of the supporters who have followed her journey from the start, she is not only altering the game, but also shaping its future. When she eventually competes in the three-point contest, it will be in the league.
We've seen Steph do that. There would be the novelty of Clark doing it alongside them. So she's the draw. But the more I read the article, also the more it sounds like a negotiation. And, getting Curry to participate in the WNBA All-Star Game, if that is indeed an idea that's been floated, that would help boost Indianapolis. And so part of me thinks, all right, this is a back and forth and negotiation is still going to happen. And this is just creating suspense.
Clark is rewriting history in addition to playing basketball, and this is just the beginning. After a rookie season full of harsh criticism, dubious officiating, and Little League protection, Caitlin Clark had every reason to put herself first. Instead, she declined the chance to compete in the NBA's three-point contest with Stephen Curry, which would have given her a huge platform to display her skills on the biggest basketball stage and guarantee her first professional contest appearance in the WNBA. Clark's decision to put the WBA first despite the treatment she endured last season speaks volumes about her commitment to growing the league.
Caitlin Clark has changed the WNBA herself. No one else. The WNBA All-Star leader in votes in 2023 got 95,000 total votes. Clark got over 700,000 to lead all fan voters this year. And the turnout for voting for the WNBA All-Star Game was 700% higher this year than last year. That's the Caitlin Clark effect.
The season was characterized by rough play that frequently went unpunished. She was singled out by defenders for excessive contact, some of which went beyond the bounds of typical basketball violence, such as being shoved after plays or hip-checked to the ground. Although the WNBA failed to intervene and establish a precedent for safeguarding its biggest star, Clark has not abandoned it. Rather than taking the easy route and participating in an NBA event that would have given her worldwide exposure and further solidified her brand, Clark decided to support the WNBA because she understands the impact of her participation in the league's All-Star Weekend and how it can attract new fans, increase sponsorships, and higher television ratings. Although the NBA's three-point contest would have been a significant event, Clark saw a bigger chance to maintain the WNBA's prominence.
In advance, she confirmed she'll be in that WNBA three-point shootout. If an NBA player wants to go up against her, then they're gonna have to go to Indy. One scenario would have an NBA player such as Curry conceivably reciprocating and doing a similar shootout at the WNBA All-Star game next summer. As much as I love the NBA All-Star has been suffering these past few years, and Caitlin Clark is one of the biggest draws in basketball. Where she goes, fans follow. The NBA, Adam Silver, they all knew what they were doing inviting her. This was such a boss move that she turned it down. Some people are speculating that, oh, she's not comfortable shooting off of a rack. Yes, I'm sure someone like Caitlin would like adequate practice time before she goes into any shootout, but the reason she declined is because she wants to bring more eyeballs to the WNBA. All-Star is in her backyard this summer. She wants the eyeballs there. She once again continues to uplift women.
Clark's choice also helps her fellow players because she is increasing the WNBA's visibility, which results in more endorsement deals, higher salaries, and more media attention for all participating athletes. Many NBA fans who may not have previously followed the WNBA will now pay attention to Clark as well as the other gifted players who merit praise. This action also compels the WNBA to acknowledge her worth. The league will need to take more steps to safeguard its top players if it hopes Clark will remain the face of its future. Even though Clark has already demonstrated her willingness to forego personal prospects in order to advance the league, the WNBA